yourself just take maybe 3 more of these cat-cows. So inhaling, let the eyes brighten, soften the belly. And as you exhale and you round it in and you look to the navel, press through the floor, really open up through the back of the heart here. And as you take these last 2 breaths, perhaps just notice if there's one pose calling to you, one part of this pose where you might like to hold or hang out for a moment. So feel free to just feel a full breath in one position in stillness. And then simply allow yourself to come back into neutral at the end of that next exhale. And as you do, just take the knees and bring them towards each other. And as the knees touch, then get ready to take that right leg and sweep it to the sky behind you. Inhale it out. Good. And then as you exhale, just curl in, tiger curl. Again, round the spine, nose and knee meet towards each other. As you inhale, lengthen the leg back. Exhale, curl in. Good. Inhale, extend that leg. And final time, exhale, bring that leg in, nose and knee towards each other, and just pause there. And then just go ahead and step that leg out off the side of the mat. And so as you do, you could take those toes and just point them towards the corner of your mat. Slide yourself all the way tall here. Take one hand onto that knee and float the arm up. Breathe in. And just breathe out, lower down. You could look the gaze up towards the wall side of the room. Good, and then float that hand, drape it along the floor, sweep it all the way to the outer edge, the other side of the body, and let this arm extend up and over. And maybe arm alongside the ear here, and you could even really lift a little through those top ribs. One more breath. And then let these fingers again drape down through the middle of the mat. Take the hands here. Find an inhale and just lengthen through the spine like a halfway lift. Good. And then as you exhale, just slowly lower down onto the elbows here. You could start to square that foot off by taking the pinky toe and big toe towards me. And then feel yourself slowly rise up here. And as you do, let this right hand stay in the middle of the body. Let the left arm just really easily float out to the side. You don't need to look towards it. And just let it thread through. And as you do, come onto the side of the head and onto the shoulder. And this variation of threading the needle here with the leg extended. And again, squaring off those toes helps. Activates through the inner thigh muscles. You might like to take that right hand and just wrap it around the hip. We'll just take one more breath here. And as you breathe out that breath, bring the hand down, support yourself to rise up. Go ahead and take that leg and bring it all the way in. Let's tuck both toes here. Come to downward facing dog when you're ready. So extend the arms forward, lift through the knees and then the hips, and press everything towards the sky. Bring the feet about hip distance apart. Spread those fingers. And when you're ready to, find the next inhale and let it propel you forward into a plank pose. And you could go ahead and drop the knees for the first round if you want to, but then exhale the whole body down towards the earth. Good. Release the hands. Find an inhale. Salabhasana. Lift through the heart and the legs. Exhale, lower down. Stay here. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Rise again, cobra. Breathe in. Good. As you breathe out, exhale to the earth. Tuck those toes. Downward facing dog. Extending up and back. And as you take those thighs towards the wall behind you, feel yourself press your mat towards me and get the full length of the hands, the hips, the heels, each of those points. Activating, connecting as one more breath. Good. Breathe out, lower down, knees come all the way towards the earth here. Let's sink back onto the hips. Find an inhale, breathe in. Good. Ground yourself here, breathe out. Close the eyes down. Let's just take 2 more of these. One, lifting through the arms as you breathe in. Let the exhale sink the hands all the way to the heart. Find 1 more breath, inhale. Good, and then as you exhale, take the hands all the way through to the heart again. Release the hands to the floor this time. Take the knees, or keep those knees, I should say, close together. Left leg, extend it to the sky behind you. Inhale. Good, exhale, curl. 2 more of those. Breathe in to get long. Breathe out to round. Good, inhale. Last one here. And exhale, curl in. And as you curl in, just pause here and then step that leg out to the side of your mat. Good. Feel yourself rise up. Bring one hand onto your leg. Float the arm, inhale. Exhale. So you might feel okay to sort of take a diagonal with the foot rather than like that. That can sometimes get into the sacroiliac joint there. You want to kind of feel like everything's turning in the same direction. Good. When you're ready to release that breath, fingertips paint along the floor there. Release the hand down and open. Good. Lift those top ribs. Find a full breath here. Good. And then breathe out again. Come all the way to center. Find a halfway lift here. So get long through the spine. And then as you breathe out, lower down. Forearms. You could even, if you wanted, make a pillow, depending how close towards the floor you want to be. And here's where you might want to feel that those toes square off towards my mat. Notice what you notice here, especially in those legs, those adductor muscles, lengthening, opening up. And as you're ready to start to slowly rise, stay down a little bit low. Let that left hand come in, right arm, just let it breathe out to the side and then thread it through. Come onto the shoulder, and you could wrap the left arm if you wanted around the hips, only if that feels good. Shoulder opening up. Warming through our back, side bends, twists, forward bends. Getting ready. When you're ready, bring the hand down. Allow yourself to come both palms to the earth. Draw that foot in. Go ahead, tuck the toes again. Come to downward facing dog. And as you lift the hips and extend them towards the wall behind you, let's just take 2 breaths here as we just pedal out the heels. So walking the dog, noticing the thighs here, finding movement in this last breath. And then as you're ready to, just feel yourself walk all the way to the front of the mat. And as you get there, just be in that forward fold. Find that lift halfway. Breathe in and pulse the body to life just a little bit more. Exhale, melt towards the earth. Good. And then from here, let's slowly rise. So uncurl in a semi-fast spinal roll. Bring yourself all the way up. Let the hands come towards the front of the mat. Feet hip distance apart. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Tadasana here. So feel the body now and just take a moment to just notice the body a little more awake maybe than when you arrived. But let's take it just a little bit further. So when you're ready to, inhale the arms up. Good. And then as you touch the palms together, go ahead and exhale and sink down into that chair pose. Sit bones towards the seat behind you. Good. Find 1 more breath. And as you exhale, just simply melt over the legs and down towards the floor. Good. Halfway lift. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, exhale, plant the hands here, step to plank when you're ready. So let one leg and then the other leg float all the way back. Exhale to the earth. Good, stay here, cobra, inhale, rise. Exhale. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Good, stay here, 3 breaths you've got. So maybe you want some more movement here, pedaling out the legs. Maybe you want to be quite still. But could you find 2 more breaths here and feel this opportunity to really release through the out breath? Getting rid of all the last bits or stale energy stuck in the body here. And as you take that next exhale out, start to walk those toes towards each other. Bring them into the midline of your mat. Float that right leg to the sky as you breathe in. As you exhale, curl like a tiger, round through the spine, nose and knee come together. Inhale again to lengthen that leg. And as you exhale, go ahead and step that leg through to the front. And just hold here, find this runner's lunge here, sink down a little through the hips. You might even want to take your blocks here, one either side, get some height so the belly's not resting on the thigh. And when you're ready, just take one inhale here. Imagine this kind of cat-cow stretch, look up, lift the heart. And as you exhale, just curl the spine round, tuck the chin like your cat stretching here. Let's do just one more of those. Inhale, lift through the heart. And then exhale, curl. Imagine the navel moving up towards the spine. Good, come back into that neutral back. Step yourself through to the front. You could use the blocks if you've got them. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen. And then exhale, melt into your forward fold. Good, go ahead and soften those knees. Feel yourself rise, and as you rise, come all the way up. Exhale through the heart here. Good, stay here just for a moment. Take an inhale and open. Lift a little through the heart, press down through the feet. Exhale, close the hands in. Second time, little variation, find an inhale, lift a little through the heart. And as you do, as the ribs lift up, tuck the tailbone under just slightly. Good, and then as you breathe out, let that right arm come across. Find eagle pose here and just allow yourself this opportunity to lift through the elbows. What if the elbows and shoulders could beautifully line up here? And take a moment to press forward as though there were a wall behind you, in front of you, sorry. And take one more breath. Good, and as you breathe out that breath, just release the hands down, take them behind you, open through the heart here, inhale. Good, stay here, find that chair pose now. With the chest open, sink back through the heels, let the hips come all the way down. Notice the tail just tuck slightly under. So rather than a big kind of curve through the lower back, what if you could make it long and straight? Good, and then when you're ready to, just start to melt and fold. Take the whole chest stretch down towards the earth here. Hands could rest on the hips or float overhead. Take one more breath like that. And then as you're ready to, breathe out that breath, let the hands drape all the way down the legs towards the toes. Plant them to the floor. When you're ready, inhale and then find plank pose. And as you exhale, lower towards the floor. Good, find another breath. Breathe in, peel the whole body up. Exhale, lower down, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. When you're ready, send everything up and back. Let the exhale finish off that pose. Take the feet hip distance. You've got 3 breaths here. And rather than any movement, could you just allow yourself to just be in stillness? And just feel the fullness of that breath. Find that you could part the lips and sigh the last part of that exhale out. As you take this last breath, starting to move just the big toes together, let them meet at that racing stripe down the middle of your mat. Left leg floats to the sky as you inhale. As you exhale, curl in round the spine here. Inhale again, lengthen, open. Exhale, step it through. Good, runner's lunge again here. Option to grab the blocks if you want to. And just allow yourself, as you sink down through the hips, keep the back knee lifted slightly, but press the heel towards the wall behind you. Feel the heart lift and open. See if you can take the belly off, resting on that thigh. Create this tiny activation, navel to spine. When you're ready to, find a breath that lifts you into that cat-cow stretch. Exhale, curl in. Good, one more. Inhale, open up. Exhale. Good, come back into neutral. Gaze to where the feet are going. When you're ready, propel yourself through to the front. Lift halfway, breathe in, get long through the spine. And as you breathe out, lower down and allow yourself just a moment to hold here. You could soften through the knees. You could keep the hands on the blocks if you wanted to. Find yourself take just a couple of breaths here. Conscious breaths to allow yourself to just deepen a little more. Perhaps there's a tiny physical movement as you do this, but maybe not. Maybe it's just this energetic feeling of just kind of getting a little more inward. So take an inhale, and even if you edge out slightly of the pose, then exhale and soften, belly towards the thigh, nose towards the knee. Look between the legs here. Find one more of those breaths. Inhale. Tiny pulsing action out of the pose. Exhale, deepening. Notice what you notice. Could you find one more breath? As you let that breath go, just with ease, start to slowly rise. Keep gaze to the floor as you come all the way up. We were dangling for a little while. And as you come up, you could go ahead and lift the gaze. Let the arms extend to the sky as you breathe in. Good, and as you breathe out, let them come down just into the center of the chest here. Float them open, inhale, open the heart, lift through the ribs here, get that momentum, elbows draw back. And then this time, left arm comes through into eagle pose. And again, feel that sense of lifting up, pressing forward, perhaps closing the eyes briefly, feeling this connection through the middle of the body here. Find one more breath. Good. Breathe out the breath. Release the hands. Take them behind you. This time, maybe go a little further if you want to. So you could take hold here. If you want to go a little further, work to kind of place the thumb into the elbow creases. Keep lifting through the heart here. And notice as you kind of try and get everything going, we kind of stick the ribs and the chest out. So what if you could knit those ribs together? And feel the tailbone lengthen towards the floor and feel the feet secured through those four corners. Let the crown of the head lift. Open through the heart here. Welcome back in your intention here in this open front body. One more breath. Good. Go ahead and let those hands release, droop them down to the sides of the body. Give everything a little bit of a shake. And then when you're ready to, find Tadasana again. Plant down through both feet here and take the arms and breathe them up to the sky. Inhale. Let's exhale again. Find that chair pose, sinking back and down. Sit bones towards the floor, heart lifted. Extend through the fingertips. One more breath. Good. As you breathe out, lower down, exhale, come all the way towards the earth. Lift halfway, inhale, lengthen. And as you breathe out, lower down and step back with the right leg here. And as you take the right leg back, feel your whole body come to this lunge. Inhale up. Good. Exhale. Lower through the lunge here. And then take the hands and breathe them back and take the heart forward and extend. And as you do, imagine holding a beach ball between the palms here. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Find that kind of forward surge of the body. And then inhale, rise, breathe in. Good. Exhale, breathe out. Take the hands back. Squeeze the shoulder blades, lift a little. One more breath. Breathe it in and up. This time as you breathe out, warrior three. So propel yourself forward. Come through, lift through that leg. Keep that same activation of the arms here, squeezing. Press the foot towards that imaginary wall behind you. Good. Find one more breath. And as you're ready to, tap that toe towards the earth. Let the hands come down. Stay here. If you've got a block close by, make space for the belly. Bring it to the right hand. Left arm breathes up. Good. Float that hand to the earth. Place them down. Take the foot. Send it all the way back. And as you come back to plank, if you want to, you could drop the knees for a half plank. Otherwise, stay here. Come onto the right arm as you lift up. Beautiful. Float the hand down as you're ready. Come to the other side. Extend and open. Good. Float the hand down. Let the knees melt. Let the whole upper body just roll towards the floor. And as you do then, slide the hands through. Come to Sphinx pose. Connect through the forearms and the palms. Lift through the heart here. And rather than the hands being loose, plant them down and have a sense of pulling the mat towards you. And as you pull the mat towards you, let the sternum reach forward. Good. One more breath. And then lower down, breathe out. Tuck those toes, downward facing dog. Extend the hips. Spread through the fingers. Soften through the heels. Take one more breath. Good. Breathe that breath out. And as you do, toes come to touch together. Right leg lifts to the sky. Inhale. Good. Curl in. Exhale. Inhale. Lengthen. Exhale. Send it through to the front of the mat. Feel yourself lift up into your high lunge here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Stay here just for a moment. And then when you're ready, just send those hands behind you. So could you feel like that center point doesn't move? It's almost like the legs are secure. Feel like the knees scissor in so you don't, this is how you avoid losing your balance. Find that racing strike, move everything towards it. And then when you're ready to, it's just from the hips. Inhale up, freedom through the upper body, strength through the lower body. When you're ready, take it back. As you do, squeeze those shoulder blades towards each other. One more breath, inhale. Good, and as you exhale, ready to come through to that front foot here. Lift it up. Strong through that back leg. Charge the arms here. Find your focus. Well done. One more breath. Good. Let that foot simply come to meet the other one this time. Get secure through a hip distance and then breathe the arms all the way up. Good. Exhale the hands all the way down. And then release them here. Take a moment, close down the eyes. Option to just feel or notice what you notice. Noticing the heartbeat, the breath. Maybe noticing the legs here. Any of those sensations just below the surface of the skin. These tiny subtleties that bring us into our bodies, that make us feel present. It's often difficult to have worries and lots of sort of anxious thoughts happening in our mind when all we can feel is what's happening right now. So start to train that muscle to become aware of those little tiny things that can honestly just make your day 1,000 times better when you can stop and bring yourself into the moment as it is. So even as we get going and the movements are bigger, what if we could take this with us into this last little standing sequence? And so when you're ready to, go ahead and open the eyes, take the hands into the heart, come into the eagle arms again, adding the legs. So when you're ready to, float the arms and open them. Get a little lift through the heart. And then as you just close them down just briefly here, we might start with the legs. So let's shuffle. Let's start with the arms, actually. Let's stay with what we were going to do. So we'll take one more of those, open the arms, lift a little through the heart. Good, right elbow on top this time. So again, feeling this. So don't worry if the elbows are sinking towards your chest right now. Allow yourself to, we'll take the same leg. So shift into the left leg, find the right leg. Couple of options. So you can simply do figure 4, or if you want to try and take it further, connect the knees and almost trying to tuck those toes behind the calf. You might find one side of your body wants to do this easier than the other. So notice how we're drawing all the way in towards the navel here. What if you could lift up like we did through the elbows, sink down a little more like we did in chair pose. Find a soft stare. As best you can, release the gripping of those toes on the mat. 4 corners of the feet. One more breath. Good. Slowly exhale. Release, unwind, curl everything out. Float the arms all the way up. Breathe in. Stay here. And as you do, grab onto this wrist and just take it to the side. Inhale up. Release the hands, look to the wall, find a standing twist. Good, inhale up. Grab this wrist, exhale. Good, inhale up. Find a twist, look to the back of the room. Good, inhale all the way up. Hands come through to the heart. Give yourself a little shake. Take the arms, let's go to the other side. Breathe in, open up. Breathe out. Good, take one more when you're ready. Inhale. So get as much momentum. If you know you need a lot of swing, draw back, lift up, and then sweep it through. So good, just let them kind of be there. Go ahead and shift the weight to the other side this time. Curl in, maybe hook the toes. Slowly start to lift, press forward through the forearms. Sink down through your seat. Beautiful. Take one more breath here. Good. Breathe out that breath. Rise up. Unlock the legs. Take the arms behind you. Find the chest open here. Good. Let's melt. Exhale. Come all the way down. Whenever you're ready, you can let those hands go. Let them droop down the outsides of the legs all the way towards the floor. Feel the hands plant down. And send the left leg back. And as you do, let that heel drop down. And feel yourself come all the way up and back into this reverse warrior, straight up. And sink into that knee just a little more. And as you ground through as you get lower in the lunge, feel yourself open from this hip all the way up to the armpit here. Gaze is up. When you're ready to straighten into that knee, exhale. Trikonasana here, extending the top arm, either resting on the shin or to the floor, or you could even place a block into the inner arch of your foot and just place your hand on a block, which can feel really nice as well. Good. Look to the fingers or look ahead. Take one more breath here. Good. And as you release that breath out, feel yourself come back to the mat. Turn on that heel here and let's make our way to pigeon pose. So we'll slide that front leg all the way back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, lift up. And then as you exhale, take that right knee through to the wrist. So behind the right wrist, right knee, foot comes into the middle of the body. Find a breath. And then let the exhale of that breath just simply lower you down into your pigeon pose here. Option to make a little pillow for your head or use your block. Start to soften the energy of the body down. Maybe the eyes close down. And as we get really still again, we have always got a choice. We've got this opportunity to run away with the stories in our minds, get today already started in our yoga class. Or we can practice this beautiful art of being mindful, noticing what we notice in this moment. So find just a few more breaths like this. As you're ready to, in your own time, you can start to slowly rise. We're going to move back into a downward facing dog. You could feel free to just come to the knees if that's as far as you want to go. Otherwise, feel yourself press up and back into downward facing dog when you're ready. And then yogi choice to take the vinyasa. So if you want to hold in child's pose, you could do that. Otherwise, let yourself breathe forward to plank as you inhale. Lower down, exhale. Good. Rise into your cobra, breathe in. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Breathe out, let the breath go. Lengthen everything up and back. Find yourself, notice left and right sides might feel different. Each hip. And then getting ready to come to the second warrior side first. So we'll take those toes and touch them towards each other. Allow that left leg to lift to the sky as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, just let that left leg come through to the front of the mat. And you could drop that heel down. And as you cartwheel up and over, just take it all the way back. And then as you do, just lunge a little deeper into that front knee. Feel yourself ground through that leg. And from this front hip, lift up and out. So there's this sense of downward energy through the legs, upward energy through the fingers, whole body opening. When you're ready, inhale to straighten that knee. And as you exhale, sweep the arms down, lift up. And then as you float that hand to the earth, let everything turn to face the front of the mat. Left leg sweeps to the sky. Breathe in, coming for your pigeon on this side. Breathe out, knee behind the left wrist this time. Lengthen back, find a breath. And let the exhale invite you to melt down. Find a pillow for your head. And just invite yourself in here. Invite yourself to make friends with your body. Let's find maybe 2 more breaths here. And as you're ready to start to rise, just push back into a child's pose to finish up. So if you want to find a down dog first, you're welcome. If you want to sink all the way back straight up, feel free. And as you come into child's pose, just one more beautiful stretch for your upper back. So you could take one hand, so take the right hand towards the left side of the body and the left hand towards the right, kind of under your head. So cross them right over like this. And then you'll be suspended a little bit through your head. You might rest on the tops of the thighs, but just feel this sense of kind of reaching and opening up through the middle of your back. And just take maybe 2 or 3 more breaths here. And as you're ready to, you could start to slowly come to sit. So before you sit on anything, come to a nice seated position, Sukhasana, with the legs just simply crossed. And then we'll allow the spine to lengthen. Take one hand, we'll find a nice easy twist before we get really still. One hand to the knee, one hand behind. Gaze over the shoulder. And just feel this sense of just kind of squeezing out any of the last kind of wrinkles in the body this morning. So if you were going to do yoga so that you could sit in meditation, you want to feel like everything has been tended to. So when you're ready, take the hands and sweep them across to the other knee. You want to feel a sense of that energetic sense of of feeling open and receptive. You want any soreness out of the body so that you can be still without wanting to fidget. And as you come back into center, just let yourself just take a nice easy stretch for your neck as well. We'll take just one hand and just let the weight of the hand, rather than pushing down, try not to push. You could let those fingertips reach out and bring that ear towards your shoulder. And then you might even just look down a little bit, and that just changes the stretch slightly. Good, release the hand, just let everything come back up. Take the other side. Again, just letting the weight ear towards the shoulder. And then maybe just sort of look towards the floor. Good, and then slowly release everything back up. So if you want to sit on something, feel free. I like to sit on a pillow or a block usually. And it's just good to have your hips a little higher than your knees. And it really just helps. What that helps is just keeping your lower back long. Otherwise, that's why we tend to kind of round and we can feel like our knees are up around our ears. So let the hands come to rest on your knees or just in your lap, whatever feels good. And close your eyes down when you feel ready. And as the eyes close down, just let yourself just drop into the body again. And just let yourself notice your posture. So as you drop down into the body again, just like we always do, come down into the sit bones. Let yourself get tall through the spine. Feel the shoulders back and even down a little away from the ears. Soften the belly. Notice how the belly, when we pull the shoulders back, the belly wants to tighten. So just feel like it's soft so that it can welcome the breath. And then just the tiniest tuck of our chin towards our chest. So the neck is long and in neutral. And then make friends with this good posture. Feel even like the slightest smile on the lips as you recognize your body sitting openly and freely, having moved beforehand. Because it's through really good posture that we can come to notice all of the things happening in our body. So take a moment in this beautiful, open, receptive posture to just notice what you notice about your body. Notice where it might feel hard to sit like this, muscles that are engaging. Notice areas that feel good as you sit like this or from the yoga. And then notice also in this posture where your breath is moving. And just allow yourself to stay connected with that. So keep observing the breath and notice where it's moving in the body, whether you can feel it in your chest or your ribs or further down in the belly. Where can you feel the breath begin and where can you feel it end? And if you could just be the noticer, if you could just be the observer from a distance, just let your breath keep moving as it is. And you can simply just notice or even tell yourself, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And allowing yourself to commit to watching 3 breaths at a time. And the whole time watching the breath, but also just having this sense as well of the beautiful open body posture. So it's like we're focusing on the breath, but it's not just 100% the breath. It's not just you and the breath. It's maybe 50% the breath. And the other 50% of your awareness is recognizing that it's happening within this body. You can feel the body here, even though your attention is on the breath as well. And it's such a beautiful experience to focus, but at the same time, have a sense of something else. And then go ahead now and just release the focus on your breath. And what if you could bring your awareness now to the space just in front of the closed eyes? And I always like to imagine it's like a big blank kind of blackboard. And all you need to do here is just allow yourself to focus on that space. And we don't try and shut things out in meditation. So if that's what our aim is, as we focus on that space, you could imagine that any thoughts that come or feelings that come, that arise, kind of get written onto that blackboard. And all you need to do is just simply clean them off as they get there. So as thoughts come to you onto that space, into that black space, just simply wipe the thought away and notice the blackness, the space again. And then more thoughts will come and you just simply move them away and start to notice more than just the thoughts. Start to notice the times when you can kind of wipe the board clean. And as you exercise this muscle more and more, you start to realize you can keep that board or that space clear more often, more easily. So focusing your attention on the space in front of the closed eyes. Remembering to rub the thoughts out So you can come back to the space clear and free. Our minds want to have rest. They want to be calm, open, receptive, peaceful. This is the natural state of our mind. And the thoughts come and they're meant to come, they're meant to be there. But through mindfulness and this practice of meditation, we can be in charge of them. We can say, not right now. And just rest for more and more moments in that beautiful, clear mind. But go ahead and let yourself just take the focus off the blackboard now too. And just feel your whole awareness open out. Still aware of the body, the breath, the sounds, but noticing nothing in particular. Kind of like, I always feel like it's a sense of kind of just holding the moment. I always feel like I want to put my hands out, palms up, like I'm just holding this whole experience that's happening right now without any attachment to any one thing, without any judgment of what's good or what's bad. Just welcoming the isness of the moment, I guess. So just experience that just for one more minute. And then just allow yourself now to come to your intention for today. How do you want to feel today? You said it at the start of the class. Allow yourself to bring those words back. And as we finish with just 3 breaths this morning, feel like each breath is allowing you to breathe that intention in to all the cells of the body. And you can then walk out of here this morning feeling really full and connected. So go ahead and just find the breath, breathing in through the nose. And you could open the mouth and just sigh out or breathe out like through a straw. Find 2 more breaths like this, breathing in your intention, all the qualities of it. Maybe there's a color attached to it that you could feel kind of fill the body here. Good. And take your last breath when you're ready. And as you breathe the breath out, let the hands come together at your heart. You're set for a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. Namaste, everyone. Thank you for being here.